Hello again, everybody. This is Sebastian Keynes with another Watch Our Realms video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the heroes that are doing an excellent job dealing with the Furious Torrent, which is the new boss in the Immortal Codex here in the Forerunner server, soon to be appearing in the global server. So who do you want to level up for this? Who do you want to use? Who are you looking for? Let's talk about it. So instead of me going to the gallery, let's just look at the rankings. Who is dealing the most damage here when it comes to this boss? We are, so right now everybody's doing about SS plus. We do have one person that is really getting close to triple S. A lot of this has to do with the timings on when you release your ultimates, and there are two key enemies in the battle, which are the octopus, the octopide. One is purple, one is green. The purple one gives you rage boost. If you can eliminate that fellow, you'll just keep getting rage. That's what really pushes your damage. And of course, if you have the gear, if you have the awakenings, if you have the heroes, those are the ones that are going to push. So here are an overview of the heroes that you're going to be looking for. Up and down, there are going to be probably 3 heroes that you're going to hear right away that are going to contribute very well to this content. Number 1 are going to be the lords. Okay, for some of these you are going to want the extended range. You're going to need it, especially if you want to reach the tridents and get those tridents down. All right, so you see that the leader already here has Eobar as one of being the Lord Piercer, and he can actually do some damage as well. Araja is being used just for that reason. She's not, there's no platform for her. You can't place her down. She is just giving everybody the extra stats that are going to be needed to carry the battle. And as you can see me here in the bottom here, I'm using Lunaria, because that's who I have in my account here in the Forerunner server. So she's the one that is giving me the extra stats, and she's the one that's giving me the extra range to tackle this. Guess what? This is where Nyx is performing well. This is her domain. Nyx is the girl, and you want to make sure that you bring her in if you have her. The more awakenings, the better. The other one is Rasak. AoE damage as well. She is doing a phenomenal job in this regard, and she is going to help you. These two are going to predominantly be the ones that are going to help you in dealing the most damage, especially all those side units, and get to the tridents if at all possible. Now guess what? Yes, Silas is going, even though he's a single target hitter, you know his ultimate does so much damage. He can deal with the side units. I've seen some people place him in the middle platform, the one on the bottom. So if you haven't seen the other videos that I have posted, there are platforms on the side of the boss, and then there's one here in the bottom. Silas seems to be the preferred spot, would be right here, because he can actually reach the tridents, and if you time his ultimate, he can just pick them off, right? And as long as those enemies are coming across here trying to get into the way, his ultimate should be able to get those enemies down as soon as possible. And the other thing is, you can also time him if you are fortunate enough to try to bring those octopus down as well. So that is where that is coming into play. So don't, if you have Silas, and especially if you have the Virnaban, yes, he is going to boost the damage. The one hero that I thought he was not going to do well, but he's actually doing very well, is Pelagius. Even though he does magic damage early on, he can deal with the side units, and this fellow is doing a phenomenal job. So if you have him, use him. Just because he does only magic damage does not mean that he is not going to do well. He is actually doing well, and you see me here on the bottom, I'm using him in my account, and he just takes care of one side. Perfect. Dolores, yes, we're using her just to boost damage, get everybody, the 2 platform heroes that we're putting beside her, just give them attack up, try to get as much damage out of them as we can. Patsus is also being used. I've seen where some people don't prefer to use her, some do, because if they build her well, she can actually just pick off all those units coming on the side. I would say you probably do have to team her up with somebody. get her some help, but you know her AoE can do a lot of damage, especially if you have it skilled up. So that is somebody that you can also bring to. Maul, I mean, I'm using him as well. Other people are using him as well. He can do a lot of damage, AoE damage, defense break. Bring him. For him here, he only did 27 million damage, so he must be on the side. But I mean, people are using him. So I'm using him. So if you saw in my run here, he was the one that I got the most damage out of him, being on the middle platform. So he is definitely going to help you out. One epic that did surprise me that people are using is Esme. I think that the teaming her up with somebody else on the side to try to bring things down. So you see here, maybe Esme, Silas on the middle, try to get those tridents down. So that's where this is coming from. Nyx and Razak probably were on the side. So that is so she's contributing to the high scores here in the Forerunner server. Another hero that nobody really talks about because everybody thinks that he is bad. I'm using him, one of the few heroes that I have here in the Forerunner count. Don't forget about Kai. Kai does AoE damage, and he can actually do a lot of damage, especially if you gear him correctly. If you have him skilled up, even better, but I wouldn't invest those skills here unless you're really trying to push into triple S. But Kai is another hero that people are using, and he is doing phenomenal in this content. Other honorable mentions that I can bring you in, it looks like Calypso is being used. The course is an A5 Calypso, so I think that is going to be the condition with her, is you want as many of the seal stone as possible just to bring down those side adds as quickly as possible. I did see Sertram as well, so if you have them, you can use them here. He'll probably provide you some burst damage that you can use in that regard, especially early on. I did see in one of these compositions somebody did use Ajax, and I'm wondering if he used them on the bottom to decrease the magic resistance, because he does have that ability to decrease the magic resistance during the battle. I think it's one of his passive. He's an 8-3 Ajax though, so just keep that in mind. It would be I'm wondering the situation on how he used them, but he was able to get some use out of him, so then his Nyx and his Razak could do very good damage. So you're not really bringing him in for damage, you're bringing him in for that passive. So then everybody else did the damage and probably boosted Maul a little bit and boosted Sertram a little bit, but he got to double S with that composition, so he could come in handy for that. And then I guess the last one that I'm going to leave you with is going to be this budget version here, team on the bottom, that I'm using, and I have Cratch. So I was using Cratch for the side. I welcome you to look at the previous video that I posted showing you the actual run and how he was able to handle the side. I mean, he was doing a lot of damage bringing those little side units out. I used them on the side platform. So if you have them, well, you might as well use them if you don't have all these other legendaries that you could possibly be using. So he's an honorable mention. You can bring him. The only downside to him is that he cannot reach those tridents. If he reached those tridents, he would just be so perfect for this, but he does not. So that's the one unfortunate part for him. I mean, somebody used Brian and Theowen here, so like I said, Theowen probably just to slow things down a little bit, possibly leave that middle a little open a little bit longer, so then you can bring in your AoE damage on the bottom, get to the tridents if at all possible. Brian, she has that split, right, her ultimate, so once you activate the ultimate, she'll split into the arrow splits into multiple, doing AoE damage. So, but she's not like strong, but she could possibly, you can possibly use her in that regard. So, and then there Theowen is just slowing things down. So I mean, they're usable. You just got to find the wrong composition with it. And then keep in mind who he's bringing. He's bringing Kai and Nyx along with this too. So there's simply a strategy there, right? Slow things down, get Kai and Nyx to just blow things up in the middle, possibly. there you have it. Those are the heroes that you're going to want to look for, the piercers, essentially, right? And if you have the lords, even better. You then be able to really get this content. You'll be able to get some rewards out of it, and at least right now, this is what we're getting out of the Forerunner server. No triple S's yet. I'm pretty sure we'll have it before this rotation ends. And but I do warn you that here I am in the Forerunner server, so by the time that this is released into the global server, something may change. It happened with the Arbiter of Frost, so if you're watching this video, keep that in mind. This is the Forerunner server, we're testing things out. We're looking to see how the implementation has been carried out, and then how we are tackling him here in this current form. And then later on, we'll figure out if the global is going to be a copycat of it, or they modify it a little bit. All right, I'll leave you there. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. Please remember to hit like and subscribe on your way out, and I will see you all on the next Watch Your Realms video.
Their souls are mine to take.